The International Space Station Harmony glowed against Earth's blue backdrop as the alien ship approached. Captain Tom Miller stood straight in his dress uniform, trying to hide his excitement. After years of searching the stars, first contact was happening on his watch. "Remember," said General Hayes through Tom's earpiece, "be friendly but firm. Show strength without aggression." The alien ship docked with surprising precision. It was smooth and blue-green, shaped like a teardrop. When the airlock opened, Tom's eyes widened. The aliens called themselves the Mori. They moved with fluid grace, their skin shimmering with blue and green patterns. They had no legs, just a long, muscular lower body that rippled as they moved. Their forearms ended in webbed fingers, and gill-like slits pulsed on their necks. "Greetings," Tom said, extending his hand as practiced. "On behalf of humanity, welcome to Earth orbit." The lead Mori, who called himself Blue, ignored the outstretched hand. His large, unblinking eyes studied Tom from head to toe. "So these are the humans," Blue said, his voice bubbling like water over stones. "Smaller than expected. And so, dry." The three Mori behind him made gurgling sounds that the translator identified as laughter. "We come from water worlds," Blue continued. "Our civilization spans 27 planets. All perfect, controlled environments. Not chaotic death worlds like yours." Tom kept his diplomatic smile. "Earth has many environments. Including vast oceans." "Primitive oceans," Blue said dismissively. "Our scans show unpredictable currents, temperature variations, and crude life forms. Like yourselves." Tom swallowed his pride. First contact was too important for personal feelings. "The Galactic Council sent us to evaluate your species," Blue said. "You've achieved basic space travel, so you qualify for Tier 7 membership. The lowest tier, of course." "We appreciate the opportunity," Tom said carefully. "We have much to learn." "Indeed you do." Blue moved around the station's module, touching equipment with obvious disdain. "Crude metals. Inefficient designs. You survive despite your limitations." For the next 3 hours, the Mori continued their tour, making little comments about human inadequacies. They mocked human biology. "You need constant air. How limiting. Human technology, still using combustion. Quaint, and human appearance, so many hard edges and stiff movements." By the time they returned to their ship, Tom's smile felt painfully fixed. "We will return tomorrow to begin formal protocols," Blue announced. "The Council is curious about your planet's resources. Particularly your waters. Our oceans are one of Earth's treasures," Tom said proudly. Blue made that gurgling laugh again. "If they're anything like your species, I doubt they'll impress us. Our evolution in perfect waters has made us superior to creatures from chaotic environments." As the airlock closed, Tom heard the general's voice in his ear. "Don't let them get to you, Captain. They'll learn." Tom nodded. The Mori would indeed learn just what Earth's oceans had produced. And he had a feeling their smugness wouldn't survive the education. 1 week after first contact, Captain Tom found himself aboard the massive Galactic Council ship orbiting Earth. The circular meeting hall contained representatives from 12 alien species, all watching with mild curiosity as humans prepared to present information about their home planet. "I still don't understand why we need to show them Earth's biology," whispered Tom to Dr. Anna Reed, the marine biologist who'd been chosen to give the presentation. "Standard protocol," Anna replied, adjusting her tablet. "All new species must share their planetary data. Helps them categorize us." Blue, the Mori representative, floated at the head of the council table. "Please proceed with your primitive data share, humans. Try to be brief." Anna stepped forward confidently. "Earth is 71% covered by water, with diverse ecosystems ranging from Yes, yes, interrupted Blue. Skip to the resource assessment. What minerals do your oceans contain? Anna glanced at Tom, who nodded slightly. They had prepared for this dismissive attitude. Before resources, it's important to understand our ocean's biodiversity, Anna continued, tapping her screen to project images of coral reefs, whales, and schools of colorful fish. The aliens showed minimal interest, with several representatives checking their own devices. Blue made a bubbling sound that their translators didn't catch, but was clearly derisive. And this, Anna said, changing the display, is one of our ocean's oldest inhabitants. The shark. The image showed a great white shark, mouth open, rows of triangular teeth visible. Anna continued, sharks have existed for over 450 million years, surviving 5 mass extinction events that wiped out most life on Earth. Blue suddenly straightened, his skin patterns shifting rapidly. Stop. Return to that image. Anna did so, surprised at the sudden interest. This creature, it's real? Not an artistic creation? Blue asked, his voice missing its usual mockery. Very real, Anna confirmed. Earth has about 500 species of sharks. This is a great white, about 6 meters long. They can smell a drop of blood from a quarter-mile away and sense the electrical impulses of a beating heart. The Maori delegates were speaking rapidly among themselves in their native language, their skin flashing with patterns too quick to follow. They are predators? Asked another Maori council member. Apex predators, Anna nodded. At the top of their food chain. Some sharks must constantly swim or they'll die. They've been hunting in our oceans since before dinosaurs walked the earth. Blue's color had dulled to a pale blue-gray. Continue, he said, but his voice had lost its confidence. Anna showed more images, a hammerhead's unique head shape, a mako's streamlined body built for speed, close-ups of multiple rows of serrated teeth designed to rip and tear. The Maori whispered urgently among themselves. Other alien species seemed to notice their discomfort and were watching with new interest. And you, coexist with these creatures? Blue asked Tom directly. We share a planet with them, Tom replied. Always have. As the presentation continued, Tom noticed the Maori delegates huddled together, their earlier mockery completely forgotten. For the first time since their arrival, the aliens looked at the humans with something new in their large eyes. It looked remarkably like fear. 3 days after the presentation, Captain Tom noticed a dramatic shift in the Maori's behavior. The aliens who had once mocked humans now watched them with wary eyes. Blue had requested every available document, video, and research paper about Earth's sharks. I don't understand what happened, Tom said as he and Anna walked through the human quarters on the council station. They went from treating us like bugs to treating us like... I don't know what. Anna checked her tablet. They've downloaded the entire Shark Week archives. All 37 seasons. And they've requested interviews with our top marine biologists. But why sharks? Tom wondered aloud. Of all Earth's animals. Their conversation stopped as a Maori scientist approached. This one had greenish patterns on his skin, so they called him Green. Unlike Blue's earlier arrogance, Green moved cautiously, keeping a respectful distance. Dr. Reed, Green said with a slight bow, might I have a private word? Anna nodded, and Tom continued down the corridor alone. He noticed other aliens watching the exchange with interest. The human status seemed to be changing. In a quiet room, Green nervously adjusted his translator. You're sharks. They actively hunt? They pursue prey? Yes, Anna replied. Many are ambush predators. Great whites will even breach the water completely when attacking from below. Green's color paled. And your people, swim in these same waters? Some people are afraid, but millions swim in the ocean every day. Shark attacks on humans are actually very rare. Green leaned closer. Dr. Reed, you must understand something about my species. The Mori evolved in carefully balanced ecosystems. Our home waters are managed, controlled. We have no natural predators. Anna's eyes widened as understanding dawned. You've never experienced apex predators in your evolutionary history? Nothing like your sharks, Green confirmed. The concept of a creature that hunts purely by instinct, that has remained essentially unchanged for hundreds of millions of years, it's disturbing to us. That explains the sudden interest, Anna said. Green's skin rippled. There's more. The council is convening tomorrow. Blue has proposed a joint scientific mission to your oceans. The news spread quickly. By evening, Tom was summoned to meet with the council leadership. The atmosphere had changed completely. Where once the aliens had barely acknowledged him, now they made space as he entered. Blue, still showing paler coloration than during their first meeting, addressed him directly. Captain Miller, we wish to observe these sharks in their natural habitat. With human guides for safety. I thought our oceans were primitive and uninteresting, Tom couldn't resist saying. Blue's skin flickered with rapid patterns. We have reassessed our initial evaluation. Earth's evolutionary path has produced unexpected elements worthy of study. As Tom left the meeting, General Hayes contacted him. What did you do, Captain? Our status has been upgraded 2 tiers overnight. Tom smiled. Nothing, sir. I just introduced them to some old friends who've been swimming in our oceans since before mammals existed. Whatever you did, keep it up, Hayes replied. For the first time, these aliens are looking at us with respect. Respect, Tom thought. And something that looked very much like fear. The research vessel Horizon cut through the waves of the Pacific Ocean, 50 miles off the coast of Australia. Captain Tom stood on the deck, watching as the Maury delegation prepared for their first immersion in Earth's waters. Are you sure those suits will hold up? Tom asked Dr. Mark Wilson, the shark expert who'd been assigned to lead the expedition. Mark nodded. They've been reinforced to Maury specifications. Though I'm not sure anything would make them feel truly safe right now. The 5 Maury scientists, including Blue and Green, were clearly nervous. Their special water suits allowed them to breathe in Earth's oceans while protecting their sensitive skin from the salinity. But no technology could shield them from their growing anxiety. Remember, Mark addressed the aliens, we're starting with reef sharks today. They're smaller, less aggressive, and rarely attack humans. Rarely? Blue repeated, his skin pulsing with worried patterns. Almost never, Mark assured him. Just stay with the group and follow my instructions. As they slipped into the warm waters, Tom watched from the observation boat. The Maury moved with natural grace once submerged, their bodies clearly designed for aquatic environments. Under different circumstances, they might have enjoyed this experience. The reef below was a riot of colors, coral formations housing countless fish species. For 20 minutes, the expedition proceeded calmly, with the Maury scientists taking samples and recordings. Then Mark pointed ahead. A 6-foot reef shark glided into view, its sleek gray body moving with effortless precision through the water. The effect on the Maury was immediate. Despite their water-dwelling nature, they froze in place. Blue's skin turned almost white. Green emitted a high-pitched sound that carried through the water. It's okay, Mark's voice came through their communication systems. This shark isn't interested in us. Just observe. The shark circled lazily, seemingly indifferent to the visitors. But when it suddenly changed direction to investigate a school of fish, 2 of the Maury scientists shot to the surface in panic. Mark guided the remaining 3 to complete the observation. When they finally returned to the ship, the Maury were subdued. Its movements, Blue said quietly as they removed their gear. So, efficient. No wasted energy. And those eyes. Dead eyes, Green added. No emotion, just purpose. Mark nodded. Sharks are perfectly evolved hunting machines. They don't hate their prey or enjoy the hunt. They simply are what they are. That evening, Tom found Blue watching footage from the dive on a large screen. The alien replayed the moment when the shark had suddenly turned, its whole body pivoting with deadly grace. On our worlds, Blue said without looking away from the screen, we engineered away the chaos. We created perfect environments, removed all threats, controlled every variable. He turned to Tom. But your species, you evolved alongside creatures like these. Predators that could kill you at any moment. We did, Tom agreed. And tomorrow, Blue said, his voice barely audible, you will show us the great white? Tom nodded. As promised. Blue's skin rippled with complex patterns. We are beginning to understand your species better, Captain Miller. Perhaps we have been mistaken in our assessment of humans. Dawn broke over calm waters as the horizon reached the designated observation area. Several Mori had withdrawn from the expedition after yesterday's reef shark encounter, but Blue insisted on continuing. Scientific duty, he explained to Tom, though his skin remained pale with anxiety. We must understand all aspects of your world. Mark oversaw the preparation of the shark cage, a metal structure designed to allow safe observation while keeping humans, and now aliens, protected from the ocean's apex predator. The great white can grow to over 6 meters and weigh more than 2 tons, Mark explained as the Mori listened intently. They can detect a single drop of blood in an Olympic-sized pool and swim at speeds up to 35 miles per hour in short bursts. Green's translator emitted a nervous bubbling sound. And you willingly share a planet with these creatures? We've adapted, Mark said simply. Respected their territory. Learned their behaviors. Only Blue and one other Mori scientist named Purple joined the humans in the cage. As they descended into the blue waters, Chum was released to attract nearby sharks. The wait was short. First came the shadow, a darker blue against the ocean's depths. Then the massive form materialized, a female great white, at least 5 meters long. Her powerful body moved with the same effortless grace as the reef shark, but amplified by her enormous size. The Mori went completely still. Blue's skin lost all color, turning nearly translucent. Purple pressed against the back of the cage. She's beautiful, Mark whispered as the shark circled them. About 20 years old, I'd guess. A perfect predator. The great white circled twice more, then approached the cage directly. Her black eye, so often described as lifeless, seemed to study the strange creatures inside with ancient intelligence. When she suddenly surged forward to investigate a piece of floating chum near the cage, her massive body bumped against the metal bars. Purple emitted a high-pitched wail. Blue simply froze, then slowly sank to the bottom of the cage in what Tom later learned was the Mori equivalent of fainting. They ended the dive early, bringing Blue back to the ship. When he regained consciousness, the alien leader stared at the ceiling of the medical bay in silence. I apologize for my weakness, he finally said to Tom. No need, Tom replied. First great white sighting affects everyone that way. Blue turned to look at him. You evolved on the same planet as that perfect killing machine. And survived. His voice held no mockery now, only a dawning realization. We have greatly underestimated your species, Captain Miller. That evening, the Mori sent an urgent message to the Galactic Council. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Blue finished presenting the shark research data. The massive display showed high-definition footage of the great white encounter, focusing on the creature's power, speed, and hunting efficiency. Based on these findings, Blue announced, his voice formal but his skin still showing patches of anxiety, we formally request Earth be reclassified as a Death World Plus category. Murmurs spread through the gathered alien representatives. Tom and Anna, seated in the human section, exchanged surprised glances. Death World Plus? Tom whispered. It's their highest danger classification, Anna replied. I looked it up. Only 3 other known planets have this status. The council leader, a tall being from a species called the Vril, leaned forward. This is an unusual request. Especially from the Mori, who initially classified Earth as merely Tier 7. We were mistaken, Blue said simply. Our initial assessment failed to account for the evolutionary pressures of Earth's biosphere. Blue played another video sequence showing multiple shark species, their evolutionary timeline, and their survival through 5 mass extinction events. These creatures have existed virtually unchanged for over 450 million years, Blue explained. They survived catastrophes that eliminated 90% of Earth's species. And humans evolved on this same planet. The council leader turned to Tom. Captain Miller, how do you respond to this reclassification request? Tom stood, feeling the eyes of every alien species upon him. With respect, council leader, we humans have lived alongside these predators throughout our entire existence. We've learned to adapt, to understand, and yes, to respect them. You swim in waters containing these creatures, one alien representative said incredulously. For recreation. Some of us do, Tom confirmed. We've learned their behaviors, identified their territories, and take precautions. But we don't abandon the oceans out of fear. Blue's skin pulsed with rapid patterns. This is precisely why the reclassification is necessary. A species that evolved alongside perfect predators and not only survived but thrived, deserves both caution and respect. The vote was nearly unanimous. Earth's status was immediately upgraded, bringing with it new trading privileges, technology sharing opportunities, and diplomatic standing. As the session ended, Tom approached Blue. I'm still not clear why our planet's predators changed your opinion of us so dramatically. Blue's skin displayed patterns Tom had never seen before. Because we now understand, Captain. You come from a world that created perfect killers through natural selection. And you survived them. That's just life on Earth, Tom shrugged. Exactly, Blue replied. And that explains everything about humans. 6 months after Earth's reclassification, alarms blared throughout the International Space Station Harmony. Captain Tom rushed to the command center where Anna and General Hayes were already reviewing incoming data. Unknown vessels, Hayes reported grimly. 7 ships, heavily armed. They've ignored all communication attempts and are heading directly for Earth. The Council? Tom asked. Hayes shook his head. We've sent distress signals, but the nearest Council forces are 3 days away. The main screen showed the alien fleet, angular, dark vessels with weapon systems unlike anything humans had encountered before. They're jamming all frequencies, Anna reported. Orbital defenses are coming online, but against 7 ships. A communications officer interrupted. Captain. Incoming transmission. It's using Mori frequencies. The screen flickered, and Blue's face appeared. Behind him was the bridge of what appeared to be a massive warship. Captain Miller, Blue said without preamble. We detected the intruders entering your system. Our fleet will arrive in 17 minutes. Tom stared in shock. Your fleet? You're coming to help us? Of course, Blue replied as if it were obvious. Did you think we would abandon our allies? Before Tom could respond, sensors detected new arrivals. Not 7 ships, but 23. Sleek, blue-green vessels of Mori design, emerging from faster-than-light travel in perfect formation. The intruders are from the Krell Dominion, Blue explained. Conquerors. They target worlds they consider vulnerable. The Mori fleet moved with the same fluid grace as their aquatic creators, surrounding the Krell ships with coordinated precision. "Please stand by," Blue said calmly. What followed was a display of technological superiority that left Earth's military observers in awe. The Mori disabled the Krell fleet without destroying a single vessel, using weapons that seemed to interfere with their power systems. 3 hours later, Tom met Blue aboard the Mori flagship as the captured Krell were processed. "I don't understand," Tom admitted. 6 months ago, you mocked our species. Now you defend us with your most advanced fleet." Blue's skin displayed patterns that Tom had learned indicated amusement. "The Krell believed your world was easy prey. They saw your limited space technology and thought you weak. And you knew better?" "Indeed." Blue activated a screen showing footage of a great white shark breaching the water to catch a seal. "Any species that evolved alongside these perfect killers, and survived, is not to be underestimated." Blue turned to Tom. "The Krell have never seen a shark. We showed them our recordings. They surrendered shortly after." Tom laughed. "So now we're the sharks of the galaxy?" "No," Blue replied. "You're something far more impressive. You're the species that swims with sharks, and lives to tell about it."